live. Let's just wait for some people. See if anyone hops on first, of course. Anyone watching? Alright. So this is just, let's see, market update. See if anyone else is going to hop on here. Alright everyone, this is just another world update. I'm going to go over the crypto markets. I'm going to go over the markets in general, what I think is going to happen. I'm going to go over recent developments here in America in the political sphere, and just give you guys an update with everything. Okay, so let's start with the crypto markets and the markets in general and what I think is going to happen. Okay. So we can see Bitcoin, it's another red day here. I do expect it continue to flatline, and I don't see a lot of bullish momentum for cryptos at this time until mid to late February, okay? Especially late February, early March. That late February to early March sort of time frame is when I personally expect the next really big crypto bull run. Until then, I think we're probably in the midst of an ABC correction. Okay, so my personal favorite market analysts for cryptos is, as you know, High Altitude Investing, Dallin Anderson. And we can look where he thinks this ABC correction is taking place, okay? As you can see, we already touched below 10K. I think the low was somewhere right in here in the US markets. It was like 9,500, right below 10K. I do think that we are double bottoming right now, and it looks like the low, it could go down to the 7 to 8K range. I would say the low is 7,500 that we could see, and I would expect a strong bounce near that 7,500 level. Do I think it will go that low? No, I actually do not think Bitcoin will go that low. I think that the lowest that we'll see is 8,500 sort of range. And probably not even that low. I don't think it'll probably break 9K. I do think it could V-bottom in that 8,500 range, but then we're going to consolidate, and then it's going to start to slowly move up, and then we're going to see that 13,888 level mid-February that Cliff High that shows up in Cliff High's data. Okay, Because if you don't know, cliff high, it is showing in the data, in the webbot data from cliff high, that we'll see 13,888 for Bitcoin and mid-February. And that's the base of support from where we're going to build our next bull run, okay, going into spring. So that's the update, you know, red all across the board. Looks like we're just double bottoming, guys. We're not lower than we were from the first dip, but I do think that it's on the table is going near that level and possibly a little bit lower, forming a double bottom, okay? But hold tight. An interesting thing that you should know is that the CBOE Bitcoin futures expire Friday. Let's see, Bitcoin futures expiration. So an interesting thing is that I believe that they're shorting the market and forcing the price down a little bit just because of these Bitcoin futures that expire on Friday, okay? And then we're gonna see another bull run starting. But all in all, I think we're mostly range bound. Okay, so we're gonna be bouncing. I don't think we're gonna go a lot lower. Like I said, it could go down to that $9,000 range, and then it'll bounce up, and we'll probably be between that and 12K for a while, bouncing around like we have been. And then we'll start to slowly build support in mid-February, that 1388 level, and look for the next bull run to really happen across the whole crypto markets in the late February range. I am actually bullish on the stock market, okay, because people don't realize, you know, there's a lot of economic growth happening right now. Now, it is true that the dollar is in hyperinflation. We can go look at a dollar chart here from Dallin. And look at this. You can look. He's also bullish, SP 500. So people don't realize during a hyperinflation, you know, the stock market goes up, and the stock market will probably outperform inflation. So you're not making near as much money with the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq and the Dow Jones, you know, these American stock markets, as much as you would think, because the dollar is going down very quickly as the stock market goes up. But the stock market's keeping up and outpacing inflation. Okay. And so, but you're not making nearly as much money as you think you are because of inflation. Okay, that's why I hold all my money in silver and cryptos. Okay, because I'm making a lot more money in cryptos. It's way outpacing inflation. Whereas the S&P 500 isn't. You're not making as much money as you think because you don't realize that the dollars are going down in value. But as an actual unit, I am bullish on. I'm bullish on everything basically. I'm bullish on cryptocurrencies. I'm bullish on precious metals. I'm bullish on the stock market, and I'm bearish on fiat currencies. Okay, so I'm bearish on paper currencies like the dollar. So it's important to realize that while the dollar is going down in value faster and faster, the S&P 500 will also moon, I think. Okay. And he's also bullish on silver, like I tell you guys. Okay. You know, I think silver is due for another bull run very quickly. I think that 2018 is the year that silver breaks free. So I'm bullish on most sectors. And, you know, gold and silver are the two that have not actually started to move yet. So always consider taking some profits and putting them into silver especially. I don't like gold as much, but silver especially. Always consider putting silver or profits into silver, okay? Because we're seeing massive movements in cryptos and the stock market and all these assets. But we haven't seen that inflation spill over into precious metals yet. And that's going to happen this year, I believe. Okay, so that is your market update for cryptos. Also, very, very exciting, you guys, is two of my favorite projects are going live within a couple weeks. The first one you can actually check out is the Populist Alpha. So I can actually go. So you can actually go to Populist and check and sign up. And you can actually check out their alpha. Now this is a platform. It's a business platform built on top of Ethereum, where you can buy and sell invoices. Okay, and it's an incredible. I'm not a borrower. I'm an investor. And it's an incredible use case, you guys, because this is a multi-business and invoice factoring and these short-term loans for businesses, or a multi-trillion-dollar industry that Populist is doing much, much cheaper and much more efficiently. And they're led by a great team. They have excellent tech. You can go look at the code on GitHub, I believe. Some of it, I think, is not open source, which you can't blame them, right? But you can go look at most of the code, and it's an ERC20 token. You can get Populist on Binance. Okay. So talking about exchanges, this is my new favorite exchange, you guys. If you're looking to buy these awesome tokens like Omisi Go and Populist and a lot of other ones, I think even it has ADX too, is Binance. It doesn't have Pillar yet, but they do have ADX on them. And yeah, I like Binance a lot. Ether Delta has basically become unusable, unfortunately. I was trying to use Ether Delta the other day. I think that gas fees have maybe dropped a little bit lately, so maybe Ether Delta is somewhat usable again. But Binance is a good one. And then also look out for altcoin.io. And then they're going to go live, I think, within a month or two. And they're actually building a new type of exchange off of the Lightning Network, off of cross-atomic swaps, which is a much more efficient way to build a decentralized exchange. Okay, but I like Binance. Okay, you can get Populist on there. You can't get Veritasium. You can still only get Veritasium, unfortunately, on hitbtc.com or Ether Delta. I don't really recommend HitBTC at this time. So you're going to have to deal with, having to use Ether Delta, unfortunately. But Binance is really good for Populist and Omisi Go, which are two of my favorite tokens, as you know. But yeah, you can play around with this. You can see how it works. Basically how it works, is you have your wallet where you deposit your Populist tokens. Those tokens that converted to an in-house an in-house token called Tokens, which are 1-to-1 with fiat, either a USD pair or in the beginning it's British pounds. And then you can buy and sell invoices, and you can earn passive income. And then when that invoice that the business that you basically got from the business, when they pay it back over the course of 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever, you get your Populist tokens back plus interest. And it's passive income. It's actually one of the only real-world use cases that I've seen so far in crypto land. And yeah, I'm a big fan. So you can check out their alpha, and the public beta was within a couple weeks, so it's very, very exciting. I expect to see a big pop in Populist and Veritasium when people start to realize the power of their beta software. Okay, that's true with Veritasium as well, so that's very exciting. So that's it with the cryptocurrencies and some of my favorite tokens, as you may know. Very interesting developments. Here in America, the government shut down. Basically, it was over funding for illegal immigrants, and the Democratic Party here wants to, shield dreamers, which is a slang term for a certain group of illegal immigrants. Very treasonous. Very treasonous. It's crazy what's happening with the Democratic Party here in America. It's important that you guys realize that it is a theme, and I have come to the realization that there is a war going on in the deep state here in America between the good guys and the bad guys, and Trump coming in was part of a counter coup by the good guys. I do believe if Hillary Clinton would have won, they would have continued their agenda. And if you guys ever want to check it out, there's a really interesting post by someone named Anon, which is QAnon, and no one knows who he or she is, and they only post on certain forums like 4chan and 8chan. But I do believe it is a military intelligence insider who's part of the good guy deep state, and they've used this forum, 4chan and 8chan, to release information about what's happening in the deep state and what the good guys are doing and what the plan of the bad guys was and continues to be. So you guys can check it out. Just Google or YouTube QAnon, and you can see basically the plan of the bad guys, what it was if Hillary was to get elected, and how they didn't expect Trump to win, how they wanted to continue to allow illegal immigrants into our country, how they wanted to continue to take control of the American military from U.S. military commanders. They wanted to continue to kill the economy through regulations, continue to affect morale of Americans through propaganda and things like that. Continue to allow North Korea and Iran to build, nuclear weapons and things like that. Very, very interesting. I do believe it is the truth. And it's very, very interesting. Let's see, do we have any, what's a red day equal a bad day? Yes, a red day is bad day. A red day means that the markets went down. It's a funny comment. But yeah, I think that we are going to see significant political upheaval in here when the memo gets released. For those of you who don't know, there is a memo that some members of Congress have read, and it basically is a memo that where the FBI, I believe, looked into Hillary Clinton with the Uranium One scandal, the Fusion GPS. They looked into Obama's wiretapping of the Trump campaign and wiretapping of the White House when Trump first took office illegally without warrants. And if it does come out that this happened, and that memo does get released, which I do believe it will, and it comes out, which I believe it will come out, that the Obama administration wiretapped the Trump administration, and they wiretapped the White House with no warrant, that is treason, and it's a very, very, very big deal, and it will really affect confidence here in the political establishment here in America, and I think it will be the part of what some people are saying, the shitstorm. Okay. So it's very, very interesting times here. I do believe this memo will come out. I do believe we'll see a continued erosion. People won't believe what's happening. This is continuing with the arrests of the pedophilia rings that we've seen here in America, where the deep state is trafficking children, and many, many members of Congress, many members of the deep state are part of this child trafficking and pedophilia ring. We're going to continue to see that being taken down, and the truth is going to be known as the curtain sort of gets pulled back on what's been happening, in the deep state. And so this is a very, very interesting time here in America, especially, but really the whole world. And it's going to erode confidence, I think, in the dollar to continue. As people see what's been happening in America in the deep state. It's going to continue to erode faith in the dollar, and we're going to see this continued flood of money into cryptocurrencies. Okay, so yeah, very, very interesting times, and everyone should be ready for a lot of upheaval, I think, in this new year. I don't think it's going to be catastrophic, sort of zombie apocalypse that some people think it is. I think the cryptos are here to take a lot of the burden off. People just hop onto the crypto system. It's available today for anyone that wants to hop on at any time. Don't panic. These fluctuations in the crypto markets, they continue to happen. Not everyone has the stomach. If you don't have the stomach for these crypto markets, then don't buy them and just buy physical silver like I recommend. I still love physical silver, but cryptos I do believe are the future. And if you can't stomach these wild gyrations, then just don't stay out of the game. But with this massive gyrations, you also get massive gains. I've made an unbelievable amount of money just by holding, because I don't day trade. I don't care when it dips a lot. When it dips a lot, I buy the dip, and then I don't panic sell like a lot of people do. And I only buy solid projects. I only buy things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. I only buy solid business tokens that I think have an actual use case. I don't own any tokens outside of Amigo, Populist, and Veritasium, because I think those are the cream of the crop. And you already make so much money with crypto. Why risk your money? You don't need to speculate on these small market cap shit coins that you don't know who the business proposition. You don't know if they'll be able to compete. You don't know who's running for them. And you make so much money with crypto anyway. There's no reason to do that, because you're gonna 10x your money anyway. So what's the point of trying to 100x it? You know what I mean? Don't get greedy. People want to get rich tomorrow, and you'll get rich quicker than any other way that I've ever seen by buying cryptos. Still the best investment I've ever seen, the best yield I've ever seen. But you still don't want to get impatient with it. It still takes some time. So, but yeah, it's going. Get your surfboards ready, because I do think we're gonna continue to see a lot more stuff come out with the deep state. We're gonna see fraction in the government, and it's gonna get crazier. I think for sure. But we're gonna be okay, and it's the future is still very, very bright. We're still going to see the sort of renaissance with money, with cryptos, with entrepreneurship, I believe. But it's going to be happening as the old system crumbles. Remember, this is the narrative. We're watching the old system crumble while the new system takes over. Okay? And it's important just to stay the course and know that cryptos are the future, that silver is very underpriced, to know that the good guys are taking out the bad guys in the deep state, okay? And this is going to continue to be the theme, okay? And so don't get too pessimistic, and always take care of your health, okay? It's important to take very good care of your health in this time, and the pushing down exercise is the most important part of healing, okay? If you don't know about the pushing down exercise, if you don't know about meditation, then I have videos about it on this channel, and it's helped me immensely in life. That's how I'm able to keep calm during these, market dips. I'm able to keep calm when all this crazy stuff happens with our government, because I meditate daily, and I've learned to just observe these things. And if you can just keep calm and observe and understand what the truth is, then these world events don't get to you too much, because you know your path, and you know what's actually happening behind the scenes, and you're not too worried about it. God is still in control. Despite what people realize, God is always in control. Okay? And yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say, you guys. Buy the dip. Get your surfboard ready. Try to go with the waves during this crazy year, but don't get too pessimistic. There's going to be a lot of amazing technologies, I think, and stuff coming out. And yeah, work hard and take care of your health, okay? If you want to find good information about cryptos, I would just Google or YouTube Cliff High. He's the best person I've found for talking about cryptos and these business tokens that I buy. Very, very smart man. He's a computer programmer for 30 years, and he also runs multiple businesses, so he understands computer science and he understands business at the same time. He's pretty grounded. He's not too yin like some of these people you find. He's very grounded. He's spiritual. He understands meditation and stuff like that. So if you want to understand what's happening in our world and where we're going and how to make money at it, I recommend Cliff High more than any other person on earth. As an expert on cryptos and business, these crypto businesses and what's going to happen. Okay, I recommend him more than anyone else. And if you want to know how to take care of your health and how to meditate and how to live a spiritual life, then you need to hop over to this website. You need to go over to drlwilson.com. Okay, you guys. And what I'll probably start doing is I'll start making some videos where I read some of his articles so that you guys can understand them. And you can get a feel, because it's very strange to some people. Some of his work is very strange. It's not a nice website. Look at this. This doesn't even really make sense how it's laid out. It's not that well laid out. It's very simple. It's hard to navigate, right? It's hard to find any articles that you want to find. The search doesn't work very well. But if you can learn how to navigate this website right here, and you can learn how to read it, how to understand what this man is saying, this is the most powerful website on earth. Okay? Understanding and reading this website will help you more than any book. It will help you more than any YouTube video that you could ever watch. I believe that this website contains more truth about how to live your life and healing yourself and spirituality and what life's really about than any other website ever created by any man ever. If I had to pick actually one source of information, one source of truth, more than any other that you could have access to, it would be this website. Okay? Even over the Bible. Yes, that's right. I would pick this website over the Bible. Now, the Bible does contain a lot of truth. The Bible is not a bad book. I've read most of the Bible. I'm a big believer in the Bible. But the Bible does not tell you how to heal yourself in this day and age. The Bible will not tell you where these toxins are coming from. The Bible will not tell you specifically how to move energy downwards and let the Holy Spirit into your body and your life. The Bible is not designed for the modern day. You know, the Bible doesn't talk about the dangers and poisons they put in vaccinations. It doesn't talk about, you know, the politics that are happening on Earth today. And that's because it was written thousands of years ago. It's no knock on the Bible. It just is what it is. I'm not saying you shouldn't read the Bible. Like I said, the Bible is very, very good. And it helps you in a lot of ways. It helps with development. It helps, especially the teachings of Jesus. And Jesus was really here. And Jesus was a master that taught us many lessons. But it's not designed for the modern day. And it will not teach you certain things that are happening. Okay? It is what it is. And so you need to understand that, and you need, even if some of these articles seem strange to you, some of these articles are very, very esoteric, and they're very advanced. And if they don't make sense to you, you shouldn't read them, and you should go back and read the more basic things on this website, like reading about diet, okay, why you should be eating more cooked vegetables, okay, because some of it is very esoteric, okay. If we look at this, what's a more esoteric? Let's find a very esoteric article here. Yeah, 1 science, 2 science, 3 science. So talking about you know, the science of number systems. Okay, that's pretty esoteric, and it doesn't make sense to a lot of people. Even yin and yang or yang doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but it's a very important concept in this sort of healing method. Okay, you know, talking about the ether, which is a sort of scientific sort of theory that gravity is actually caused by an ether that flows through the center of the Earth, and that that gravity is just us experiencing the ether. It's ether theory. But it's time, you know, things like that. Also talking about the chakras and the 7 system. You know, those are very esoteric, and some people aren't ready for them. But I enjoyed them from early on, and you might enjoy them as well. But you know, you can always go back to just reading about, you know, sauna therapy or eating cooked vegetables or things like that, or reading about certain conditions such as autism, what it is, what it's not, things like that. But although I love Cliff High because he's great with cryptos and everything like that, I believe that this man, Dr. Wilson, Dr. Lawrence Wilson, is the most spiritual, he's the most advanced person on Earth. He's the wisest person that I've ever seen, at least on the internet. There might be some guy in Tibet in a monastery who's more advanced than Dr. Wilson. That could be true. But they also don't post, you know, articles on the internet that you can read. You'd have to go fly to them to meet them in person, or go read their sacred texts that you'd have to get access to, or on and on. You know what I mean? But this is the most simple, easiest to access work of a master. You know, I would consider this man a master that's out there. Okay, and so read it. If you don't understand it, you read it again. Some of it might hurt you because the truth hurts sometimes, and it may make you angry. Some of these you know, if you read about abortion on this website, and you're you know, not pro-life, some of these articles will make you angry. Okay, that doesn't mean it's not true. Okay, it's just that you're not ready. Okay, so it's important to think about. All right, I think that's enough for today's video. Stay safe out there. You know, buy the dip, accumulate silver, and most importantly, you guys understand this website and take care of your health, because it will help you more than anything else, even if you don't understand it. All right, bye.